item Ornn builds in lane because he is saving 200 gold for that lane start. So I wonder what he's thinking about starting here.
Oh, that would
'Cause-
make it interesting.
yeah, because Rejuve beat is 150 if I'm not mistaken, and then the refillable is also 150. So that saves him 200 gold. I don't know if it's going to be a cloth armor. I don't know if you're going to do the Doran's shield start because that's also pretty common.
That is
But with
very
Doran Shield, usually don't buy the Rejuve bead, so I'm a little interested to see what he's going.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm definitely a little curious. We could also see what we talked about before, the Bramble Vest early pickup. I doubt it, but we could also see that coming through to play, and so definitely going to be curious to see how that one turns out. As we do see, Hecarim does start at his blue buff. He doesn't. Typically, Hecarim's will actually start at the red buff and go either Reds, Krugs, Chickens, or any variation of those three. And so him starting blue side is a little curious. Maybe going for a cheeky level 3 gank as Pyke fishes for the hook. Not going to land though. And as I was talking about before, the Pyke having to try and cement himself into this lane is going to be really tricky. As Sar is taking a beating on this Ornn into the Cho'Gath, as one would imagine so. Cho'Gath with his passive, who gets 8 health and 4 mana every time a minion dies around him, is going to be a lot more sustained than the Ornn. And so,
yeah, I'm interested in the bot lane itemization for the Lulu. Usually Lulus will build that Spell Thieves, but it looks like Rafa has opted into Relic Shield here, just for that extra lane sustain. I feel like that's a good call. Pyke's gonna have a lot of sustain. You're not really gonna poke the Kai'Sa out because she has her invisibility on her dash. Big trade going down to mid lane.
Big trade going down mid lane, but it is gonna be Galio versus Silas. So Silas plays Kingslayer a couple times and be able to play HP. So anything to happen there. As Ornn getting hit by a lot of things, the Vorpal Spider is gonna start doing a little bit of damage to Ornn, but Ornn is going to just walk away safely. He did, you called it, he did end up buying the Doran's shield or very early in this laning matchup, and so that's definitely gonna benefit Ornn trying to sustain through this lane, as Cho'Gath has, besides his passive, has run out of health kind of regen items, as Volibear's coming in for a cheeky little gank here, as Ornn needs to be careful. Hit by the knockup is 1 HP, he's gonna have to dash away, followed with a flash Q stun. Ornn gets taken down first blood. As
another gank
through for a little bit of a gank on the Galio. Galio will take away the aftershock, pops to have to flash over this wall, gets the flash, does so as Silas is holding the wave. Oh no. As Ornn does CP back, as Galio tries to go back in, Silas with a big trade, but Hecarim gets the second kill of the game. It's 1-for-1.
Yeah, and that's it looks like there's another gank coming through in mid lane. Volibear showing up on mid.
Oh yeah, Volibear showing up on mid from Hecarim, and Hecarim is going to just walk out of here fine and dandy. Volibear is actually up in creep score because Hecarim did skip his Krugs. This is going to be crucial for his pathing. It's going to put his Krugs on a much longer respawn timer, and so wait, I'm sorry. I do apologize. This is 24, so he did do his Krugs. This is his Krug respawn. Even so, he's really going to put him on a little bit of a back foot of the timer, as the wave is stacking here on the side of Silas. Is up about a wave in farm, considering the fact that Galio did die and actually saved his teleport. And so
I'm surprised on the side of CLG. Sorry to cut you off. I just thought of this.
No worries.
But the warding for CLG in those bot lane bushes, it is so important to keep those bushes warded so that way the Pyke can't get that health regen.
Oh, speaking of the Pyke getting a bit of a stun off, Bane has to flash away as Lulu goes in for a little bit of a poke. But Hecarim is here. This is a dive angle here if you want to dive on this wave. Kai'Sa and Pyke, not a lot of wave clears, so they kind of have to try and struggle to clear it, but Hecarim will just base safely. As we were talking about before, Pyke has only has one thing to do. He can only go in. Pyke cannot protect, Pyke cannot shield. If Pyke goes in, he has to go in, and if Pyke goes out, he has to go out. And so getting those definitely benefiting from that part of the game, as Vayne gets hooked on a ward. Kai'Sa with a flash in. Vayne gets got by the Pyke.
I just want to say,
that's gotta be a tilt there.
I called it. I said level 4. He's gonna look to undertow in with the Q backwards and just try to get that Hail of Blades proc and burst them down.
As Gallia's getting a little gawky, his little pod does not have access to the ulti as Silas gets him. Silas with the 1 kill. It's a 1-for-1 overall. That's one. A bit of a trade here. Cho'Gath's going to be just fine though.
But that's the problem with the Pyke lane. Think about it. Those bushes weren't warded, so they didn't know Pyke was there. Pyke went right through those bushes that we talked about warding earlier. They had no idea. Oh, dive top lane.
Cho'Gath is going for the dive top lane, then knock up with the Ornn, and the healer's engine coming through from the side of the stolen Galio is going to do massive damage as the 1-for-1 comes through. Well played by Cho'Gath.
That is a lot better for the Ornn, though, because Cho'Gath is losing a lot of farm here, whereas Ornn's wave is pushing out. So not quite as bad for the Ornn, but it still feels really bad to commit so much to that dive and have it end up being a 1-for-1.
Yeah. Definitely, as we're talking about the bot lane, kind of thinking back to it, they saw Pyke place a ward, and Vayne kept doing her recall. I don't know if maybe she was shopping, or maybe she was just not paying attention, but definitely a little curious as to why we saw a ward being placed and absolutely no move being established on the red side. As Musa's going for the dragon here, has the mid prio, does not have bot prio as of now, but Kai'Sa will just farm up fine and dandy. As Hector is going to keep doing his bot side camps, he's smelled out the play. It is 4 people on the bot side right now trying to cement vision. As the right play for red side here is just to give up the dragon and go and try and trade it for something else on the map. Whether it's his top side, whether it's Hecarim's top side camps, or getting free farm to farm, the Rift Herald, something. But they should definitely look for a trade.
Yeah, you know, I think that early Cloud Drake is actually really, really big for the side of non-plays. I mean, they have some massive ultimates on their team. They have some really important ultimates. There's every single ultimate on their team is a team fight changing ultimate. And having that cooldown on it early, especially early, is going to help out a lot.
Yeah, as Sarge, Hawk, and Tarded are just going to keep moving down, just kind of slap each other as Volibear comes in a little bit of a gank. Ukia with the ulti from Volibear, and Volibear hits him with the exact same move as Hector comes into onto the shadows, but Volibear's going to pick up the kill onto the Silas as Gal's looking through from a trade. Hecarim has no ulti, he's trying to get out of here. Volibear takes one more tower shot, gets almost the 1 HP, gets taken down, but survives in the end. Galio takes him down, but in the volley, a little bit of a trade going through. Pyke on 1 HP has the great health, and so he's going to stay alive for a little while longer. Vayne's on 1 HP, trying to fight with the Kai'Sa, but Kai'Sa runs under the tower, and it's not going to matter that much. It's a 2-for-0 overall.
And that's those Volibear changes going through. I mean, you saw that shield keep him alive with the Hecarim, and pre-buff Volibear just recently, it does not live there, but this Volibear does. That's a big, meaty shield off of that Stormcaller.
Absolutely. That's an absolutely massive shield coming through. As we see, level 5 coming through with support. Level 6 is just being hit. If you're on the side, as Volibear's going to put a little bit of gank here. Cho'Gath does miss the rupture, but Volibear's going to do with a little bit of gank here. Ornn with the Searing Charge trying to get out of here. Volibear with a little bit of running and stun. Run stuff, job done if you're Volibear. Ornn has to flash away from the rupture. Volibear does tank 3 tower shots, but is still living.
Well, we know now. I'd like to see CLG go for Rift Herald here if they can. I mean, they know they just forced the bot lane to back. They have the Silas pushed up pretty far, and they know the Volibear. They know the Volibear is going to have to back too because he just got really low from that engage there. And Ornn has TP, and he can TP right back in.
As Cho'Gath's going to do a little bit of an engage here, has silence, cancels the Searing Charges, it just eats the Ornn, launches him and crushes him right back to the spawn platform. As Cho'Gath has to now run away from the Hecarim. Hecarim does have the ulti, is a little anxious to commit it yet, but has the E, has the Rampage stacks going through as Gallia and Volibear are coming up to assist. And that's just a clean solo kill.
We get a check on CLG's vision right now because it looks like this Volibear is just making... Oh, another bot lane engage.
Well, bot lane engagement, dude, dodges the hook. The Lulu fantastically played from her. And there is... On the map, I can see there is control wards on the bot side of the map, but other than that, it is complete and utter darkness.
There's only 3 control wards in the side of CLG here, and this Volibear, you know he's just going to repeat gank. I mean, he's 2-0-1, he's spiking really hard right now. And if you're not tracking this Volibear, you're gonna make it really hard for your already. I mean, Ornn is already 0-3. He's just gonna keep getting repeat dove over and over and over again unless someone helps him out.
Yeah, they do spot the Hecarim with the Void Seeker. They know he's not around. This is a free Herald timing if you're the Volibear coming out from base right now. A free Herald timing as Silas is now pushing in the Galio. Very interesting. We did see a little bit of a roaming coming through from the Galio, roaming to the bot side to try and help the Volibear live and obviously kill the Ornn at the end of the day. And we have not seen any, as Blue does get hit by a gnarly hook there as Hecarim comes through for the engage. Nothing will come of it though. He's just going to walk away. As we have not seen any offensive heroes entrances from the side of Naughty Boys. We've not seen any kind of heroes entrances as we do get a quick counter on the feast. We do have 3 feast stacks, 2 from minions and 1 from the Ornn earlier. And so it's definitely going to be a little interesting as Hecarim is on a ward as everybody's coming. Hecarim, you get out of there, buddy. Get to use the all of the shadows, try and get yourself away. There we go. Ulti burn, but nothing lost.
And that's 40.
That's
That's 45 seconds right before Dragon. I just want to point that out. He will not have that ultimate for the Infernal Dragon coming up.
As Pyke goes in for a little bit of engage on the bot side of the map, we see a little bit of engage here. Pyke with the ulti coming through. X marks the spot for Vayne.
You know, and it's looking like Soul's either going to be an Ocean Drake or a Mountain Drake, which if CLG can come back and try to wrangle their way to getting, if it does end up being Mountain Soul, if they can wrangle or even Ocean Soul, if they can wrangle their way into getting a couple of those dragons, that's going to be huge for them. Because if they get, especially Mountain Soul, if they get that shield on top of all the resistances they're already going to build with the tank Hecarim, the Ornn, Silas, they're going to be impossible to kill.
It is 100% true. 100% true, Kyroder. This game is going to look very scary. The Cho'Gath is going to be an even bigger dinosaur. But I do want to point out something that I didn't necessarily think about as we do have an Ocean Drake on the map. The extra regen resistances don't matter against Vayne. Vayne's W passive does true damage. So even if it was a Mountain Soul, which it is not, Vayne would still do about the same amount of damage as she normally would, at least from her super hard-hitting spells. But we do have an Ocean Soul coming through. Who do you think this kind of benefits more as the game would go on? As we didn't have time for that, as Hecarim is looking to be engaged on, does use the E and scurries away.
It depends on how each comp wants to play. I mean, I could see Naughty Boys either wanting to run a 4-1 like we saw earlier with Fnatic running that with the Scion, or they could run just a standard team fight comp, just shove the side lanes and wait for objective. But if either team, and also for the side of CLG, you could have the Ornn and the Hecarim splitting, because Hecarim can get out with his onslaught of shadows. Ornn's tanky, he's got TP, he'll get out of there. Or even Silas could side lane too. It really depends on if a team opts into side lane, that Ocean Soul will help them out a lot more.
Yeah, as you see the Herald being taken down from the Volibear. Definitely a little later on the timer. There's no place to be taken, and so Hecarim. I'm sorry. There's not going to be any plates being grabbed, so no gold is going to be on the table. As Stas is getting engaged on Pyke with the Phantom Undertow is going to come through. Silas is feeling it. We have to move also the double hero's entrances, but it's Gallia that makes his mark, and so it's a 1-for-0 overall.
And that's an unfortunate TP out of Ornn. I think he didn't need TP there. It sounds like that was a communication issue. But now, for next Dragon, if Cho'Gath decides to sit and hold on that, he will have his TP up while Ornn won't.
Definitely a scary proposition if you're on the side of CLG. The Reptile being summoned in the top lane is going to maybe get first tower here. Ornn is bleeding a lot of resources, and so I'd like to see somebody try and catch that wave as Hecarim is kind of in the area defending the Ornn so they can actually secure some of his camps. And so as Galio does take the tower against the Silas.
And luckily for the side of CLG, the plates had fallen just before that Herald was dropped. Plates fell a minute and a half ago, so Naughty Boys did not get that extra gold from the plates. They did get first turret gold and second turret gold, and they'll probably get third turret gold bot lane. But they didn't get the plate gold, and that's what matters.
Crucially, Galio buffers the Justice Punch with the Hecarim Arduous Charge, and so Galio does get out scot-free, and so nothing really chosen there. As the first items, we haven't really talked about this, the first items have started to come through from both sides. You have the Chemtech from Volley there, the Frostfire Gauntlet, and the Bramble Vest coming through from Cho'Gath. And as well, on the other side, we have the Sunfire Aegis coming through from the Orin, the Chemtech coming through from the Hecarim, and the Everfrost coming through from the Silas.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the Duskblade on Pyke. I think, like we talked earlier, I think Prowess would have helped him get through the front line earlier. But when you're 3-0 and you have Duskblade at 16 minutes as a support, and you still have your support item passive gold to give you, you can go Duskblade. That extra damage and extra lethality will only help you out.
Most definitely. As I didn't even see that the bottom even finished their items, but here we are. The Krakens are coming through from the Kaisa. We talked about how this may have been a Gale Force game, but Magnesium Song definitely did not think so. And so Kraken is the way that Kaisa is going in this game. We already touched on the Duskblade. We see that it's already a almost 5k gold lead coming through from the blue side, about 4.5k here. And let's just make it really interesting as Orin gets his Seer card and canceled from the Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath's going to take this check a little bit further. Orin has to try and run away, flashes away from the Rupture as Hecarim goes through for the gauge on the bot side, and Galio has to flash away to trigger the flashes overall.
Yeah, and that flash is important out of Galio, but it's not super important to commit all 3 resources of that, lose a bot tower, lose your top laner's flash, just for one Galio flash in the mid lane. I don't know if I'm calling that trade worth.
As the Pyke coming through the grand challenge that here in Emerson rather coming through, Lulu just immediately just dies and the Volley Bear hits him and absolutely Google stomps, and Pyke gets another ulti reset cooldown.
So I was looking at win rates and it said Lulu's better than Pyke, but maybe I was entirely wrong about that because this Pyke is running over the game.
Absolutely, as Pyke misses the hook, but Hecarim actually takes the engage and goes in for the fight. It's a kill from the Kaisa. Orin is in a 1v4, and it's not going to work out too well for him as Orin hits the wall with a Searing Charge, but Galio takes another kill.
Yeah, I'm a little confused as to why they opt into that fight. I mean, they only have vision on the Gromp and at the entrance to the jungle. We mentioned earlier how the Cho'Gath would have TP up for this Drake, and lo and behold, he TP'd in for this Drake. And I'm just not sure why. I mean, I think CLG scales just as nicely, if not nicer, than Naughty Boys here, because the Volibear's going to fall off a little bit. Galio's going to get really tanky. Cho'Gath is going to be big, but we have a fight going on mid lane.
Have a fight going on mid lane. Galio doesn't get with his other punch, but then it hits the Lulu instead. Aftershock is stopped, but Galio is stalling for time as Silas gets the big shutdown with the Pyke ultimate to get back some gold.
Yeah, that gold's going to feel so nice for this Lulu. I mean, she's so far behind. That's the problem with Relic Shield, is that if you get to this stage of the game where you feel like you have to roam around a lot and try to make plays around the map, Relic Shield's not giving you a ton of gold, because usually you fight, you may end up low, or the other person you're fighting with may end up low, not want a CS. But that 300 gold how much gold does Lulu have right now? Can we get a check? Oh, we have a fight going on in the mid lane.
As we have a fight going on in the mid lane here, we see kind of just some trading going on, nothing too particular.
So 4,300 gold for Lulu. She should be able to get, I assume she's going Moonstone Renewer on her first pack. Not first pack, but on her next pack. She should be able to get that. That's going to help out a lot with these teams if they take extended team fights. If they can slow the game down so they don't get completely burst apart by this team, by Naughty Boys, they can slow it down. I think the Moonstone Renewer on the side of CLG is going to give them this edge in the team fights. But they're 7,000 gold behind, so it's going to be very, very, very hard to navigate these team fights, especially as the Vayne. Looks like we got to engage the top lane.
Yeah, Gage probably coming through. Orin has to try and get away from this. It's a 1v4, and Kaisa with another kill. 3-0 and 5 on the game.
Yeah, Rafa's here trying to clear out these control wards for his Orin. He's screaming at him, please, stop walking up past the river. Just sacrifice CS. That's not our jungle anymore. And the Orin says, no, I want to die. And it's really hard for as a support and as the jungler here trying to get vision to help out your top laner. We have a TP coming in
As a
from
Baron coming through, 2K on the Baron. Hector has the ability to get it in, but Shogas with the feast gets the Baron. As the Hero's Entrance comes through, it's 2 kills to 0. Starts the Volibear ulti, is trying to get into the backline, but can't do so. Probably hit the Zonius, or the TP coming through from the Orange trying to engage the fight, but Vayne is on 1 HP, has a blue ultimate, is trying to deal the damage, but there's 2 more kills coming through. It's a 3 for 0 on the play. Orange trying to get away, but it's not going to work out too well for him. It's a 4 for 0. It's a 5 for 0. Lulu with the polymorph is trying to survive, but the bear absolutely chomps her down. It's a clean ace on the side of Naughty Boys.
Yeah, it feels like CLG just fighting over stuff that's. I mean, if you're going to try to steal it, just send one person. Don't send that money. Don't send that many. You're not going to win that team fight. I mean, you've been losing team fights constantly. And then again, just as we saw earlier, a late Ornn TP, which feels like a major communication issue that hopefully will be cleared up next game. Because this game is not
and an undertow and just executes him.
And we have, they have a Cho'Gath Feast. They have the Volibear Smite. Volibear is, what level is Hecarim? I can't see because of the death time.
Hecarim is level 10, I believe. At the point of the Baron, he was down 2 levels.
He's down 2 levels plus the Cho'Gath true damage on the E on the Baron.
As Cho'Gath has overstayed welcome here. As Salas again with the Pike ulti gets to execute. Cho'Gath overstayed his welcome and gets the shutdown. Crucially, he did hit him with the Pike ultimate, and so even though they are down 13,000 gold, the gold lead is coming through in a big way.
Yeah, you know, this is gonna have to be the Silas show. I mean, Silas is the only one getting the gold. He's got quite a lot of gold. He's just under the Kaisa. Looks like he's 600. He's 1,000 gold under the Kaisa. But you know, it's a 4-0-6 Kaisa. To even be 1,000 gold under her, quite the impressive feat on itself. So it's gonna have to be APO carrying these team fights from here on out for the side of CLG.
Definitely. Seeing the gold, the biggest lead's actually in the support role, as Pyke has almost a 5k gold lead onto the Lulu. And so this Pyke is absolutely running away with the game, especially because he's getting those ultimate executes down. He's giving his team a lot more gold. Cho'Gath's up 2k, Volibear is up 2k, Kai'Sa's up 3k, as Lulu gets found with the Pyke ultimate again. It's a 1 for 0 overall. Volibear is now chasing the horse and the bear. Who is gonna win? I think the bear's got it down as the crit instinct comes through. Volibear with the ulti, the Hero's Edge is coming through next. It's a 2 for 0 overall. The Pyke with the flash undertow, it's not gonna hit anything, but the Pyke ulti comes down 1-2, and this is the game coming through for Naughty Boys.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking? Next game, the X on that ban button is going to mark the spot for CLG because I do not want to see them play into this Pyke again. And I know Rafa plays a lot of tank supports, but him walking into the jungle by himself with no vision, with the Hecarim a little bit away from him, I'm question mark picking that if I see that in my solo queue games. That's not, like I said earlier, that's not CLG's jungle anymore. That's Naughty Boys' jungle. You can have one ward in that jungle, and you're trying to face check into an Ocean Soul that you know they're going to be at. Unfortunately,
trying to take a trade here, as Lulu is around to kind of help him out. Silas is doing a lot of damage to this Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath is on 1 HP. Silas has the feast going down. He needs one more auto attack to try and get it through. The Rounder comes through to try and save him, but it's not going to work out for very long. As Silas, another kill, 5-4-1.
Yeah, well, hopefully, I mean, if we saw it earlier, SK came back from a game that was thought to be lost. They might be almost 20,000 gold behind.
As Pyke coming through with the Edge of Night and just one-shots to Lulu. Thumbs up on the way out.
I think next game they're gonna have to take this Pyke out. This Pyke has been an absolute monster in the jungle. He's there when he needs to be, and he's there exactly where CLG does not want him to be.
Exactly. I mean, the lack of vision, especially with the Umbro Glaive. We have not seen this item for a while, so why don't I remind people what the passive actually does? The passive means that if you walk over a ward for the next 8 seconds, all wards get revealed to you, and you actually do extra damage to wards. And so Pyke can just use his W, roam around, find all the wards in the river, and just absolutely one-shot them with his Umbro Glaive passive. And so that's going to do a lot of work to try and deny a lot of vision coming through from the side of CLG. as they are trying to make a stand. They have lost their mid inhibitor as they're going for a little bit of a fight here. Hector has jumped on the backline. He was entered coming through from the silence as the bottom ult is coming through, trying to buy some space. The returning Gears entrance coming through. As Silence the chain, the 1-0 overall Hector already goes down. It's a 2-0. Kaiser gets the silence. The fight's already lost for CLG. And just like that, it doesn't matter. A double kill for Cho'Gath, a double kill for the Pyke. Make it a kill for the Kaiser on the back half of it. It's a full ace coming through, and this is going to be the game.
Yeah, that just feels awful as CLG to get run over like that. I mean, that is an 18,000 gold lead at 25 minutes. That means that 7 minutes into the game, if we're just going